Hello Mission families, how's it going? Back with part 2 of the lead leg series here, okay? Right now we're just covering the basic steps and basic footwork, alright? If you caught part 1, we worked on a stationary step. There's one for boxing, one for kicking. And then step 2 was a drop step, okay? That would be a similar step regardless if you're trying to set up a punch or a kick off of it, okay? Now, we're going to work on steps 3 and 4 here in this video. These steps are a little trickier, okay? So do the best you can with them. If you can't quite get them down, go back and just keep working on steps 1 and 2, okay? Now, to follow this video, there will be a part 3, but there's going to be 2 versions, all right? So when we started off with the steps, you were supposed to determine in your brain which you were trying to use the step for, whether it be setting up a punch or setting up a kick. Alright, so keep that goal still in mind as we go through these steps, and then when you go to choose your part 3 video, there's going to be 2 versions. There's going to be a boxing version and then a kicking version. Okay, so make sure you choose the correct part 3 to finish off this series for you. If you want an extra challenge, you're more than welcome to try doing both videos and learning how to punch and kick using these same footwork setups. Okay, now step 3. Alright, this one I like to call your walking step, okay? So from your natural stance, what you're going to do is take your back leg, you're going to step it forward, okay? Now, this looks a little similar to the drop step, but instead of dropping back, okay, you're bringing your back leg forward, okay? So there's going to be a second part to this step, all right? But the first part involves you bringing your back leg up and then finishing in your opposite stance. Let me show you from the side here. Back leg steps up. I go right into my opposite stance, okay? Back leg steps up, I go right into my opposite stance. Now I'm already kind of doing one of the 2 options you have after this step, and that's stepping backwards and getting right back to my stance, okay? So option number 1 is you step forward and then you step right back to where you came, okay? You step forward, right back to where you came, okay? From the side, like I just showed, forward, back to where you came, okay? Now the second option for this one is you're going to keep going forward, all right? So this is going to be more of a stepping through motion or a walking through motion. I step forward, then I take another step with my other leg, okay? This puts me back in my stance where I started, okay? From the side here, I step forward, and then instead of bringing that leg back, I take my other leg and I step forward again, all right? So that requires 2 steps there. Both of these are going to be categorized as the same step, and I like to call it more of a walking step or a walking motion. The reason I refer to it that way is think about when you're walking down the street, right? If you're just walking down the sidewalk, it's one foot in front of the other, all right? You're doing the similar thing, but you're staying in a fighting stance as you step through, okay? So one more time, this is your walking step. Your back leg comes forward, and then you can either return, right? Or you can use your walking step to come forward and then step again with the other leg to advance again, okay? So that's step 3, your walking step. It requires you to first bring that back leg in front. You finish in that opposite stance for a moment, and then you're either going to A, return back the way you came, or B, you're going to keep going forward and step through or walk through, advancing towards your opponent, okay? So those steps, same for boxing, same for kicking, all right? So there you have it, step 3, your walking step or your walk-through step, okay? Step 4, all right, this one's gonna be a tricky one. This is gonna be your switch step, all right? Now, a lot of you guys probably already know how to do your switch, especially my Thai students, any of my intermediate or advanced gym ninjas. I know you work on your switch a lot, all right? But there's a lot of details that we can work on from there. Now, if you want a little more of a breakdown on that, look out in the future for an advanced breakdown of your switch step, okay? But for now, we're just gonna go over the basics of it, okay? Basically, whenever I'm switching, what I'm referring to is my feet both leaving the ground at the same time, then switching, okay? So there's 2 ways we can do this. One, I switch, and I kind of just remain in the same spot I started at, okay? So if you notice, when I switch, my body is still in the same place. My feet are just switched and my stance is switched, okay? From the side, I'm here, I switch, okay? So again, this step is a little trickier especially for beginners, okay, because it requires you to leave the ground and change your feet and your stance all at the same time, okay? Like I said, there's two ways you can do that one. That was the first one. I switched and I just kind of stayed on my spot, all right? The second way you can do it is switching and moving forward, okay? So if I want to close the distance, maybe my target isn't right in front of me. Maybe they backed up, right? When I switch, I'm going to come forward as I do so, okay? Switch, I come forward, okay? From a side angle, looks like this. See that? Switch, I come forward, okay? So two options for that one. Obviously, the range is what would dictate which one you would use. You know, if my target's right in front of me, I can switch and go right away, right? If my target is backing up a little bit or a little further away than I might have initially guessed, I might need to hop forward as I switch, okay? So there you have steps 3 and 4, okay? Just to recap, step 3 is that walking step, back leg has to come forward, okay? From there, you can either return back or you can continue to advance, okay? Step 4 is your switch step, okay? Again, two ways you can do that one. You can switch right on your spot, or you can switch and hop forward if you want to advance, okay? So there you have it, all 4 steps, okay, in order. Stationary step, you have a boxing or a kicking version. You have your drop back step, that'll be the same for all, okay? Then the third one is our walking step or walk through step, okay? You have 2 options with that one. And then with the final one, our switch step. You can switch in place or you can switch and hop forward. Choice is yours, okay? Again, at any point, if you need to pause, rewind, rewatch, make sure you do so. After you get all the steps down and you got your footwork down, then I want you to go find part 3 for your goal, okay? If you're a puncher and you're trying to set up punches, there will be a part 3 that's boxing. If you're a Taekwondo student, a Gym Ninja student, or a Muay Thai student, you want to work on the kicks, then you would go for part 3, look for the kicking video, and that'll show you how to use all these steps to set up your kick or punch, depending on which one you go with, okay? Make sure you also come back, check the channel tomorrow. That's Friday at 4:30, okay? Make sure you check the publish date on the video. If you catch this video later on, obviously you won't be able to catch the live portion, but the live portion will be uploaded to the channel, so you can always go back and watch that if you don't watch it live, okay? Thank you guys very much. Make sure you look for part 3. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.